Alright, so y'all probably wondering why she coming on camera looking like she about to kiss somebody. Listen, so I was just on a flow with conversing with you guys, and then I had moved the cursor so that the screen cannot go black. And y'all know I hit it too hard, right? Like I've done so many times before. But anyway, please, guys, please, if you guys can hear all that screaming outside, please excuse my neighborhood, okay? Because these people are wretched, clearly. Because they so loud. Like, why y'all so loud? Anyway, how y'all doing today? Hi. I'm Ruth Delgado, and this is Ruth Delgado's Glamour Page. I'm sorry, y'all, that I came on with an attitude a little bit because I literally just came in with my introduction, really flowing with everything, and then I just X'd myself right on out and had to start all over again because I'm not going to use that other video. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, hey, Troop Tribe. How y'all doing today? I'm gravy, baby. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I'm doing real good. So, I'm coming to you guys again today with another story time. Drum time. All right. I be getting distracted, y'all. But anyway, so this story time that I'm about to tell y'all today is about. I'm sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. So if you're wondering, what is she looking at? I'm looking at my notes. See? So anywho, um, this story time that I'm about to tell y'all is about when I got drunk at a cookout with my ex-boyfriend and left mad and by myself where I got jumped by three girls I never saw before. So, here it is. Yeah, I had to just try to put a little giggle up in there because, yeah, those aren't good memories as you can probably figure from the title. Those aren't good memories at all. But anyway, let me get flowing with this story. So, I'm going to start off the story letting you guys know that this particular story happened years ago. So, this is not recent. This is not the same boyfriend that I'm with today. This is somebody else that I was dating previously. That's why I said my ex. So, I just want to clarify that before I get really going and flowing on the story. So, y'all know sometimes I might slip and say the person's name. Y'all might not know that, but well, y'all kind of know now because I just said it. But anyway, most of the times I create names for my characters or whatnot that's in my stories that I'm talking about. So I'm going to give my ex-boyfriend a character name since y'all don't know him, even though he don't even deserve for me to even hide his ID, his identification, because he know he don't even deserve it. But I'ma still give him that respect, even though he don't deserve it. But anyway, let me keep going. So I'm gonna give my ex the name Bo. So I was with Bo. We was in a relationship. We also was living together at the time. But short story time. I only lived with three boyfriends my whole life so far. Um, and the boyfriend that I'm with now and the boyfriend I'm talking about now and one other guy is the only guys that I ever lived with in my life, like that I dated. Now I've lived with guys that I didn't date before, I already told y'all about that story, but I'm talking about as far as people that I've dated. Yeah, I've only like actually lived with and stayed with 3 guys that I dated. So the guy that I'm with right now, the guy that I'm talking about right now, and another guy. So I'm gonna name him Bo. So Bo and I were together for a few years, probably about 3.5, maybe 4 years, give or take. Um, and this was right before I was about to break up with him, actually, because he was putting me through some foolishness, and I was really getting tired of his mess. So this is like right before I finally decided to just walk away and never look back. And I'm glad I did. Hence the story. But I'm definitely glad I did just walk away. But this was a time frame where, okay, so let me give y'all a little backstory on my relationship with this guy. When I was with Bo, we had an awkward relationship to the point where when things was good, like they was really, really, really good, like real cool, real smooth, really happy. But when they were bad, oh man, were they bad. So with that being the case and with that being said, um, I just wanted to keep y'all abreast and keep that in mind how our relationship was. It was kind of like up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's kind of like a yo-yo. But anyway, just keep that in mind while I speak. So we weren't getting along at this time frame. Things were a little strained. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure like what exactly happened to make things strained at that time. I don't remember that part, but I'm going to tell y'all what I remember. Now, mind y'all, I'm going to let y'all know that in this story, as y'all see in the title, I got very, very drunk. So some of this story might sound kind of misconstrued or whatever because some stuff I might mix up or whatever because my memory of the actual night, first of all, it was a while ago, years ago. And then my memory of the actual night, because of me being drunk, just is kind of like all over the place. But I'm going to give y'all the best detail oriented description story flow that I can come up with. So here goes. Um Bo had a friend in the neighborhood that lived around where we lived at, and I knew her as well. Actually, he introduced us, but before he had introduced me to her, I knew her already. I didn't know her name specifically, but I knew of her because I had came and encountered her a number of times at her bar because she was a barmaid, and it was a few times that I encountered her when I used to go to her bar sometimes. So Bo had a real cool, laid back, chill relationship with this lady. It was an older lady, like old enough to be his mom, older. So he had that type of friendship with her, and I knew that, so I was cool. And she was cool with me too, but she wasn't like as close to me as with him. She kind of like treated him like that was her son. Me, it wasn't like that. So, um, I said all that to say she knew both of us, but she was closer to him. So she told him, Bo, about a cookout that she was gonna have. So she told him right in front of me, and then she turned around to me and she told me like, "Oh yeah, and you can come too if you want to." It's gonna be plenty of food, da 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 da, whatever, whatever. And so I'm like, oh, okay, thank you for inviting me. I think I will come. So, um, we didn't live that far away from the lady, so we ended up leaving and coming back. So that's what we did. We left when we came back. And so when we came back, I was helping the lady out in the kitchen and everything, trying to help her set up stuff and whatnot, stuff you usually do when you at a place where you know the people that's doing the cookout, you help out around them, whatever. So that's what I was doing. And I noticed already straight from the rip that my boyfriend was already acting like he had an attitude at that time. Like he was like acting real moody. Like anytime I talk to him, he act like he didn't want to talk to me. But then I would get, of course, we're at a cookout, so I would get guys saying hi to me or trying to talk to me or whatever, and then I would feel him cutting his eye over where he's sitting at, and of course tell the guy that I'm in a relationship, whatever, blah blah blah. But like I just was feeling that weird energy, throughout the whole cookout. But as best as I could, I tried to ignore him and just have a good time. And as a result of that, I ended up getting very drunk because I was trying to ignore him. So I put more of my attention into drinking. So, yeah, when that happens, I basically, when I drink, which I don't drink very much anymore, but when I did, um, when I get drunk, I'm typically a happy drunk. Like, I get giggling, I get laughing and joking around and cracking jokes, and sometimes might even be laughing at stuff that's not even that funny. But I'm just so giggly and happy, so just it usually picks people's moods up. It usually has everybody on a good vibe. So that's one of the major reasons why I was drinking so heavily, because I know I get happy. So, and I wanted to be happy. So I'm gonna try to make this long story short because I gotta go to the bathroom. So what happened was I got stupid drunk, but I wasn't too drunk to the point where I couldn't walk around or do whatever I needed to do. So I helped everybody pack up and everything. But while I was helping, no, let me back up a little bit. Right when the block party was about to end, um, I noticed that my boyfriend wasn't at the block party anymore. And so, I mean, the cookout anymore. So I was like, where did he go? And so I had asked the lady, and she told me, she said, he left. I said, what you mean he left? Why he leave without me? And she was like, I don't know. I thought that you was with him. I was like, oh, wow. I said, that's crazy. I said, oh, okay. So he just going to come here with me and then just leave me here? I mean, I I was telling the lady, I was like, no shade to you, because like I don't mind being with you or whatever, but we came together, we supposed to leave together. And she was like, oh no, I definitely know what you're talking about. Like he definitely was wrong for that. And I was like, see, that's exactly, like I actually was talking to her a little earlier about him and whatever was getting on my nerves with him, and she had brought that up when I told her that he had upset me by leaving me. And she had told me, she was like, listen, I'm about to tell him to come back here anyway, but if you gotta leave, go ahead and leave. But I'm just gonna tell you, I really don't want you to leave here upset, first of all, or by yourself, especially because I know you've been drinking and everything like that. And I was like, yes, I know. Yes, ma'am, I know. I said, but the thing about it is he didn't upset me so much, and I sat here and still tried to come out and have a good time regardless of being upset, and then he still did something else to upset me. She's like, I understand exactly how you feel. She's like, yeah, I would want to leave too. But she's like, just try to wait it out and hopefully stick around till he leave. I mean, till he get back and take you home. And I tried to do that. I stuck around a little longer and tried to wait around to see if I saw him, but I hadn't seen him yet, and I was ready to go at this point because I was mad. So I did end up seeing him right when I was about to walk out the door to leave. But because I was so irritated with him, I did not even want to go back and try to link up with him to leave. So I just went by myself. Wrong move, because I ended up walking into some BS, but I was so upset, and I had every right to be upset. He did make me mad, so it was what it was. But anyway, so I was, mind you, drunk as a skunk, and now trying to find out how to get myself home. Mind you, remember earlier in this story, I told you guys I lived with my ex at that time, and we did not live far from this lady's house. We lived probably max about 5 blocks away, if that. Tell me how I ended up somewhere way out. I got the walk in, and I don't know where I was walking to. I clearly was not walking to my place. Make a long story short, while I'm taking this long behind walk, nothing looking familiar, and I'm just like kind of a little dazed because I'm drunk too. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going, and I'm a little disoriented because I'm like, where am I? I'm drunk. I'm trying to get myself together. I, listen. So I'm still walking though, and I noticed that like it was right before it got dark. It was like the time frame in the day where the sun is going down, but it hasn't gone all the way down yet. And I saw this little kid. Like it was already getting dark, but it wasn't like dark yet. It was getting dark. So I saw this kid walking up towards me. And I look at the kid, and the kid looks at me, and he's like, "Hi." He was like so sweet and so cute and so like warm and fuzzy, like hi. And because he was like that, and because I'm not mean to kids, I was like, hi, I said hi back, and I waved at him. Next thing I know, some lady come out of nowhere and start fussing and yelling, "Get away from my son! Get away from my son! What, you a child molester or something? Get away from my boy!" I'm nowhere near her boy. We're literally standing apart from each other. He's not all up on me. I'm not all up on him. I'm not nowhere near him. So I'm confused. Like I told y'all, I'm drunk too. So I'm just like, why is this lady screaming at me right now? I'm like, I got a freaking headache, and this lady is screaming at me. Why is she screaming at me right now? So I just tried to ignore her and just kept walking. And then I walked into 3 females that just started rolling on me. I'm like, confused as hell. But of course, I'm fighting because, well, I gotta fight back. I'm not about to let these 3 girls beat me up. So I'm fighting back. I'm all over the place because it's 3 girls. I'm little me, little teeny tiny behind me, and 3 big girls trying to beat me up. Ridiculous. But I gave them a run for their money though, because that liquid courage had me going crazy. So, I remember being on my knees fighting hard because I had came out my flip flops. It was warm. It wasn't like a cold day. It was like a summer day. So I had flip flops, when I came out my flip flops. So I basically was walking around with no shoes on at this point. Well, not walking around, like I was on my knees actually, because I was fighting on my knees because they had got me on the ground. I don't know how they did it, but they got me on the ground. But I would not get all the way on the ground. I wouldn't allow myself to get all the way on the ground. I still kept hitting, like I still kept throwing them punches and stuff. But I felt my knees. Oh my god, my knees was hurting so bad. Like, and then my knees got all skinned up. But I was still going. I was still fighting. And then this guy and this girl came out of nowhere. I don't know where they came from, and they was like, yo, stop jumping her, stop jumping her. And the guy jumped in. They both jumped in and got the girls off of me. And I was sit. They sat me down. I was sitting down, And I was crying, and they was, trying to console me and everything, and they was like, where do you live? What are you doing out here? I was like, well, I was trying to get home. I just had a fight with my boyfriend, and I didn't want to leave with him because I just had a fight with him. And then I walk into these girls, and I was crying and everything. And they was like, listen, where do you live at, honey? You got to get home. They was like, do you live anywhere around here? And I was like, honestly, right now, I can't remember where I live. I was like a mess. I was like, I can't remember where I live at. I'm drunk. And they was like, well, get your bearings together, mamas. You got to get, to your home. So I calmed myself down, did a little breather, whatever. And then I got my bearings together and I told them where I lived at, or whatever. And they was like, all right, we know what bus you need to get on. I was like, bus? They was like, girl, you know how far away from your crib you are? When I told them where I lived at, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm that far? It was like, yes, girl, you a whole bus ride away. I was like, okay. So they took me to the bus stop, and they waited at the bus stop with me, waited until I got on the bus, waved me off, and then, went about their business. When I got off the bus, I proceed to walk up to my block. I got to walk like 2.5, 3 blocks to get to my house where I lived at that time. When I got to the block that I lived on, I'm getting closer and closer. I'm sitting there seeing a whole bunch of stuff on the sidewalk, and I'm looking at the stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, that look like my stuff. What? Yeah. So this fool decides that because I had left my phone at the lady's house of the cookout that we was at, and I wasn't answering his phone calls, he thought that it was smart to put my stuff outside, which was the dumbest thing to do because, fool, I still got keys. So I could put all my stuff back in the house, which is exactly what I did, but not before I called his mother. Because I was like so sick of him at this point, because I was like, dude, are you serious? Did you really, after I done got so hot with you, I did not even want to leave with you to make sure that I was safe because you left me earlier and obviously didn't give a hoot whether I was safe. And he was like, well, yeah, Miss What's Your Name told me to come back, and I came back for you, and you left by yourself. And I was like, yeah, of course I did. Because I was pissed at you that you would leave me at the bar. I mean, at the club. I mean, at the party. At the block party or whatever. So I was like, of course I was pissed. I didn't want to be around you at that time because I was mad. And so he was like, well, I was mad when you wasn't answering the phone. I said, fool, I don't have my phone. I left it at Miss What's Her Name house. And he was like, oh. And I was like, so that's why you felt like that it was smart to put my stuff outside because I wasn't answering my phone? And then, of course, he was drunk too because he was a huge drunk. He had a serious drinking problem. So, of course, he was drunker than I was, and he was talking all retarded and crazy. So I stopped talking to him because I knew he was just talking out of his brain because he was freaking drunk. I took his phone off the floor because he had his phone on the floor. I took his phone off the floor, and I went outside. And before I even started picking up my stuff and taking it back in the house, I called his mother. And when I called his mother, the conversation did not go the way that I thought that it would have went. And it was very disappointing for me. And that's what signed, sealed, and delivered me to knowing that, yes, that day, I knew I was going to leave that man. Because when I called her, I told her, I was crying and everything. I was so upset. And I told her, I said, I've been trying to be in a relationship with your son for such and such and such a time, da 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 da, spilling my heart out to her and everything. Said all that for her to turn around and say, well, why you go back to him? Why you still with him? Huh? why I'm still with him. Ain't this your boy we talking about? So that let me know right there, she already knows she had a demon child. Okay. So she was just looking at me like, why you with his demon ass? She ain't say that, excuse my mouth, but when she said, why am I still with him? I just put the demon behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you still with him? Why you still with him? What you mean why I'm still with him? He don't deserve love like everybody else in the world. Not when he acting crazy like that. No, he don't. So when she said, why you still with him? I was like, because I love him. And I was trying to work on the relationship because I really do love him. And she's like, well, that's what you're going to keep getting if you stay with him. She said something to that effect. I was like, you right. Absolutely right. All right. Thank you for listening. Cut that combo short. And then I put all my stuff back in the house by myself. And that night, I didn't leave. But that night, I made the decision in my mind that I was going to prepare myself to walk away from that relationship and never come back. Never go back to it. And I never did. But that was really a really crazy night because I did not know them girls from a can of paint. I did not know that little boy from a can of paint or his mother. I ain't know none of them people. I also didn't even know the guy and the girl that came and helped me later. I swear they was like angels because I didn't know where they came from. And they made sure that I was safe. They made sure I got on the bus safe and everything. And then just for me to get home and see that his stupid behind put my stuff outside just because I wasn't answering the phone when I didn't have my phone to answer it. Goofy. Like, ugh. Y'all. So y'all can imagine how our relationship was. Like I said, it was like a yo-yo. It was up and down. And that was one of the down times. That was one of the times when it wasn't so happy. But I walked away from that situation. I got away from that situation permanently. And I'm very happy that I did because it allowed me to learn some things and see some things for what it really is and see some people for who they really were and not who they made they so seem like they was. So what I learned from this experience is be careful who you choose to be your boyfriend. Because when that fool leave you in a position or in a place that he shouldn't be leaving you, that puts you in a very dangerous position for anything to happen to you. And that's what put me in the dangerous position to get jumped. Because I ain't had nobody with me. Because I'm pretty sure them girls wouldn't have tried it if I had a man walking with me. But I didn't. So my thing is just be careful who you choose to be your boyfriend. And if he starts showing signs of leaving you places when y'all came there together and stuff like that, dump his behind, okay? Listen to Ruth tell you the truth, okay? Dump his butt. If he take you somewhere, he took you there, and his goofy behind get up and decide that he want to walk out and leave you there, you better make sure that's the last piece in hair grease, my nigga. You better make sure that's the last time you see that nigga, period. We don't play those games. We too fly around here. We too smart around here. We too bomb around here to be taking that foolishness. Point blank, period. Now, y'all, check out these nails while I'm sitting here clacking. Y'all see them? Y'all see? I'm sorry. I gotta make a little noise sometimes. All right, y'all. That's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched all the way to the end. If you are already a part of the Truth Tribe, thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Thank you, boy. Thank you, everybody, for who's a part of the tribe. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for being a return, viewer. I appreciate y'all. Now, for the newcomers, hey y'all, hey. How y'all doing? So welcome. And I'm glad you guys stumbled across this page. And I hope you got some blessings from it because I was blessed by sharing some blessings with you. Now, if you go ahead and press that subscribe button and press that bell for the notification so you can be notified every time I upload. If you like footage like this, I'd love it. It does great for my response and for the flow of the page. So, guys, until next time. Bye.